Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Global PropTech Online. Thank you for joining us this morning or late morning, early afternoon. Today, for our first presenter, we have Chungha Cha, who is here presenting, and I'll let him give a better introduction to himself than I probably can, and then we'll get started with today's talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I just see a screen with myself on it. Do I have to do this for coronavirus? Like, are people on this call like Paul Chen, if he's on? Are we wearing our masks because we're based here in Asia? Anyway, I think I can take it off. I'm working from home. My name is Chungha Cha. Cha, most people just call me Cha. I'm the founder of Reimagining Cities. And we've been working now 11 years in green buildings, smart cities, and about 3 years or so in PropTech. And I got to meet a wonderful man called Wouter Trufino. And he's put me in touch with some of you guys out there with beautiful solutions for PropTech. And I think that there is this convergence of PropTech and smart cities. My, how should I say, base being more smart cities as opposed to PropTech, but I see some wonderful solutions that you guys are making that will help cities save money, help cities make more money or develop interesting business models, as well as improve the overall quality of life for citizens. Let's see, I'm here to speak about smart cities and mobility. And frankly speaking, it's getting a little warm, so I'm going to take this off. Frankly speaking, I'm not an expert in mobility. I do know buildings very well, net zero energy buildings, carbon neutral buildings, things like that. But if we look at smart city and mobility and start to look at, okay, what is this thing? A lot of people start to talk about solutions, and there are a lot of solutions out there for smart cities. So what is a smart city? You have smart lighting, you have smart parking, you have smart buildings, you have smart energy. You know, there's a lot of solutions out there. And even in mobility, when you look at the first mile and last mile, you also have a lot of solutions. You know, you have the bike sharing, you have the scooters, you have e-scooters, you have ride hailing, you have autonomous vehicles, you know, so there's a whole world of solutions out there. So what I wanted to kind of, you know, put in people's minds is let's look at solutions versus the platform. Now, when we go to solutions, why are we after the solutions? And I think, you know, people saying data, you know, we need data, you know, data insights. Well, what kind of decisions are we trying to make better with all of this data? And I think we lack that understanding because there are so many different types of solutions, decisions to be made. That's trying to solve the issues of smart cities, climate change or climate action. How do we reduce greenhouse gases? How do we reduce traffic congestion? How do we address the global trends of rapid urbanization? You know, there are a lot of things out there. So this data, like if you're doing energy efficiency or if you're doing space optimization or you're doing health and well-being, a lot of these solutions and the data that come along with that, I believe is that the data is still siloed. And the customer, whether it be the real estate developer of a very large real estate development or the city, you need to go across many different types of data sets in order to make very good or better decisions, right? So that's why then I ask the people listening is to think about the difference between solutions and the platform. And the platform is taking the data from these various solutions you have out there. Energy efficiency. Well, let's bring it up onto the platform. How much energy are we using for cooling or heating or lighting or ventilation at what time of the day? Then you have another data set, which is, the calendar, the seasons, the temperature, the humidity. So you bring those data sets up onto this platform. Occupancy, you bring that up. Now we can link data sets from occupancy to efficiency or energy efficiency to the weather. So why is the 10th floor always using so much energy when it's always empty? So now we're kind of drawing upon different kinds of data sets to make a decision. So this platform, I like to put another name to it, is called the digital twin, right? So there's a lot of talk these days about the digital twin enabling smarter cities. Let's see. I'm going to try a screen share here. So if I screen share, does everyone see it? Hello?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So this is a website that is our website, From PropTech to Smart Sustainable Cities. And it says, addressing global challenges of rapid urbanization and climate change. So it's kind of dark picture, but I purposely had this image made by my daughter, actually, and she overlaid a whole bunch of things where it's kind of gloomy as well. So, I just wanted to portray that smart, sustainable, all this technology, it's a double-edged sword. And if we go to here, I have this section where, you have digital twins, PropTech and smart cities, green finance, climate action. But if you went to the digital twin section, you'll see this, okay? So we created this document. I think I sent it out on the WhatsApp group chat, but when we talk about digital twins or this platform, the customer, the real estate owner of 100 buildings, they don't want just an energy efficiency solution or a space optimization solution. They want to have, they have other problems that they want to solve. And you guys out there have the smarts and the abilities to help them if you can kind of, here we talked about digital twin phase 1 or the beta version, because when we talk about digital twins, you're talking about this, 3D visualization with AI and all these kind of things. And that's for something later on. We don't even have a platform that's operating correctly. So why don't we take some of the solutions of energy optimization, energy efficiency, health and well-being, and space optimization, and put that up on the platform, get it up and running, and show people that it's running. And then you add like thousands of data sets onto this platform. So then that's how I think we can accelerate the use of digital twins to drive smarter cities. Now think of that. So I'm going to share with you a dream that I have. And this is Lakeview Village. And it's a client, it's of ours. We're the Smart City Advisor. And it's a $6 billion real estate development here. They just got the master plan approved 2 months ago. And over here on the skyline, you'll see downtown Toronto. And that's where the great Google Sidewalk Labs is. They couldn't get the 800 acres, so they're going to start on 12 acres. Ours is 177 acres. And we're also looking at trying to make this development a showcase smart, sustainable community. So let me see. So I've been working with these guys for about a year, and then we're starting to get a little bit more involved in it. So I'll be going to Toronto at the end of the month, end of February, last week in February. So, you know, it's a unique smart city development opportunity, master plan. We're going to have this innovation campus. So it's like an innovation district. So this is where, you know, all of the solutions can come here, work on the digital twin together, right? That's what I'm trying to envision. It'll be a living lab. It's where it's public, private, academia, citizen partnerships come together, and we co-create, co-design the future of cities, right? Future smart cities. Total of roughly 175,000 square meters of GFA that can be built here. I'm going to skip that. Here's the location, downtown Toronto. Here's Union Station. Sidewalk Labs is a little bit east of here. And then you go on GO train station and a few stops. Here's Lakeview, and here's Toronto International Airport. This is the master plan. Most of these things are apartments, and this purple strip here, that's where the innovation district is going to be located, and I'm helping them design and strategize as to what ecosystem of companies we need to have working here to drive smart cities, autonomous vehicles. We're thinking of having an autonomous vehicle track within this 177 acres, which is pretty large. And then when we get permission from the city to operate onto the public property, we can go out to the main road and loop around to this train station here to the east, train station to the west. It's kind of a 3D image. That's a different, let's just skip. So we're gonna be working here as to how to design it. What's the best ecosystem to attract here? And this innovation district with a digital twin and living lab is the platform that we're gonna try to be the main mission of the companies that locate here. This is kind of what it's going to look like from the residential apartments looking out onto the Ontario Lake. And this is a view from the lake. This is what it's going to look like. Off here, you'll see a cluster of buildings, and that is Mississauga City. Technically, this is Mississauga, and over to the right is Toronto. So think of all the ones and zeros going up from these buildings, from the people that's moving around there, from the AVs and everything, the climate, a lot of things, air pollution, indoor air quality, all going up to the digital twin, and that's going to help drive smart cities. And when you say smart cities, you can't do all of Amsterdam or all of Toronto. You're going to work in little districts, little pockets of communities. I think even in Amsterdam, you have 3 pockets of communities where they're really pushing the edge or frontiering the future of smart cities with technology and different lifestyles. So that's similarly, this will be a district that's going to push the edge toward future living. So that's that. What else? I think that's the end of that presentation. What else? That's kind of an introduction as to what we do in smart cities and the emphasis on, PropTech guys, you guys were focusing on solutions. let's work 2020 and beyond. Hurry up and get that upper layer going, right? And that upper layer, I really think that you need to work with a large company, because the developer of this. Oh, let me tell you a real story. I was in the Philippines, and one of the largest real estate groups, their name is Ayala Group, Ayala. And I was meeting with some of the board members of that company. They invited me to speak on smart cities on one of their offsite meetings with like 40 executives. You know, we're stuck on a small resort island for 3 days with the CEOs and CFOs of their companies, right? It was like a dream come true. They couldn't get away from me. But I talked to a lot of their CEOs about PropTech, and they say, Cha, you know, they do really good things, but we don't know they're going to be there tomorrow. So we made a decision to buy IBM Maximo. It's going to cost us $10 million, a lot more than we would have to pay a PropTech solution. And the PropTech solution is even better, but we decided to go with IBM because we know they're going to be there tomorrow and the next day. So especially on this platform, the digital twin platform, I would really strongly recommend that you guys have the smarts, but you need that brand name. I would, be the engine behind NEC or Hitachi or Tech Mahindra or TCS or one of the bigger names, so that you can more easily get your solutions into large existing portfolios, as well as the build out of new communities like this one that you see before you. Stop share. What time is it? I talked for about, 18 minutes now? You want to just ask questions, fire away?
Yeah, sure. We can do that now. We did have one initial question. If you could talk for a few minutes about the work that you're doing in Japan as well.
Okay. Japan, it's actually, Toronto is much more advanced because they just got the master plan approved 2 months ago. The Japanese project is a Chinese investor, I should say. They're interested in investing and developing a $4 to $5 billion US billion dollar mixed use resort development. And they have to bid to the government to get the deal. So we help them prepare the documents. And one vector was smart cities. They wanted to develop this thing into a low impact to the environment, smart, sustainable with respect to energy use, water, waste, and then slap a digital twin on top. So very, very similar approach to Lakeview. We're applying the same thing to Japan. Japan is interesting, and to investigate further, I would like to share Kashiwa no Ha smart city. It was developed by one of the big groups there, Mitsui Fudosan Group. Well, Mitsui Group, but Mitsui Fudosan is the real estate company of that group, and they were the developer of Kashiwa no Ha. And the Japanese, they're approaching smart cities. They call it Society 5.0. And I think they're all different words for the same thing. It's smart cities centered on improving people's lives. It's very people-centric. And Society 5.0 is being adopted through this governing structure they call, one Japanese guy termed it the quadruple helix theory or model. And basically, it's not just a plain public-private partnership. They add on academia, and citizens. So those are the four that make up the quadrupleness of this approach. But that governing structure where you have public-private, and you bring in the universities, which will also bring in the kind of the startup, the talent, and citizens, obviously, because you want to help, solve the everyday problems that they're experiencing in daily lives, right? So that's what we're currently working on with respect to the Japanese project. So meeting Mitsui Fudosan, meeting with Hitachi, ULI Japan, Mike Owen is out there. If you guys want to reach out to him, he can introduce you to a lot of real estate guys there. Meeting with some architects, construction companies, and of course the big Japanese trading houses like Marubeni, Mitsubishi, Itochu. So yeah, they have a slightly different look on smart cities, but I look at more of the similarities and focus on the differences.
We have some questions that have come in as well, Cha, for you. One of them is smart cities is a very exciting topic. What are the main challenges your team faces when building such a project from scratch or concept like Lakeview in Toronto?
I'm sorry, my mind wandered off for a moment. Can you repeat that?
Yes. So smart cities is a very exciting topic. What are the main challenges your team faces when building such a project from scratch?
Well, first of all, when you build a project, you're dealing mostly with the real estate developer. And the real estate developer, when you talk about smart or green, they just have this thing in their mind that it's going to be more expensive. So trying to overcome that hurdle is the biggest challenge in doing anything smart or green or low impact to the environment. And I work primarily with the real estate developers, and I say, hey, you shouldn't stop at because your cost went up. You should ask your question, if it costs you €1 billion, and to be smart and green, it's going to increase the cost. Your first question is how much? And then if your, €1 billion goes to 1.1 billion euros, then you should check how did that impact the income, right? Did income go up or expenses go down? And then that is income over investment. So you have to go a little bit further to check your investment return. Because I think even if you spent a little more money, if your returns are the same or higher, or you're reducing risks by spending a little more money, then your risk-adjusted returns on your investment is better. So all the developers who stop their minds when they hear about higher costs, I think they're the dummies. And I sometimes tell them, hey, you're stupid. You should not stop there. You have to check all the way to investment returns. And you want to make that extra 100 million euro investment wisely so that you are either driving down cost, increasing your income, or you're improving the experience or lives, right? Those are the three reasons why you would want to spend some money, or a little more money, I should say.
Perfect. We have another question for you too. So, if you sign an agreement with IBM Maximo or some other big smart city platform, do you think that you might be attached to them forever? What if you want to change to another platform or provider?
Well, that's always the argument, right? So you buy Schneider Electric, or you buy Maximo, or you buy, whatever it is. That's always the argument in the tech field, right? And they always say that they're open, they're interoperable, but actually they're not. So I'm not a tech person, and we know that there are issues like that, but I'm not the right person to answer that.
Perfect. No. And one other question for you here. So, with a lot of technologies and with digital twins, it seems that a lot of the conversation is focused around new construction. You mentioned that you work with developers a lot. Does this
Yes.
also apply to existing buildings, which is a large percentage of what we have to deal with now as well?
Yeah, we all know existing buildings, you're locked into a bunch of inefficiencies. So it's a lot harder. But I think, existing buildings, you can make a quicker impact, obviously, because they are already built. And I think you can help them improve performance 10, 20, 30%. So it's definitely worth an effort to go after those property owners who have large portfolios. Uh, I think they get it with respect to some of the PropTech solutions are very, very helpful to their operations. And that's a good thing. For me, I like to work with newer developments. It takes more time, but I think there's a lot more that can be demonstrated or showcased to the world to say, no, this is the way future cities or future communities should be built. And it didn't cost you an arm and a leg, and we're still achieving attractive financial returns, right? That's the key. So then if we are very open about that, if we had a digital twin where you can see all the performance data, then people can, they're more apt to benchmark this type of a development and do it in your own cities all over the world. We want to be very transparent about what we do, the process and the metrics and the digital twin. You could be sitting in Amsterdam and access the data here in Mississauga or in Toronto, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
yeah.
That looks to be the questions that we have for today. And do you have any closing statements that you'd like to make?
Um, well, if anyone needs to chat, you can give me a WhatsApp. I do want to say one thing in Toronto, which is technically in Mississauga. We're very. I always check the developer who's a little bit they're flexible in their thinking and that they're embracing smart and sustainable. At the same time, I look at the city, and the city of Mississauga just released this plan. It's called a Smart City Master Plan. And so the city is thinking about, hey, how do we get to do things right better? Adopting technology, adopting data to provide better services. And I wanted to show you this. They're adopting this, the notion of living labs, right? And living labs are digital twins, we think. So we're engaged with the City of Mississauga Smart City team, and we're kind of coordinating what can the developers do to kind of align the interests of both the city and the developer and the citizens and the university. So when I go there this time, end of the week, end of the month, I'll be meeting with University of Toronto and some of the smart city professors and AV guys. And that's it. I think I'm using up too much time. It's 4:29. I have 1 minute.